Welcome back, everyone, to Hearthstone Grandmasters for the Americas. Hope you enjoyed that little segment as we get ready for the winners finals of the Group A bracket here for day number one. Remember, the winner of this goes to Sunday, but is their last chance to get to Sunday and an opportunity to get points to seed for Division A and Division B. For some players, their fates are set. But for a couple of these players, killinallday and ETC, it is still within their grasp.
Yeah, and now they're going to go up against each other to see who's going to be the first player to move on to that top four. Killen with the Tempo Mage, the only player in the top 8 with that choice for a specialist lineup. The only other player in the tournament with that choice was Empanizado, who barely missed out on top 8 himself. killinallday has been performing quite well against Druids throughout his 7-2 run in the Swiss, but ETC was the only Druid that he did lose to. He beat Saiyan 2-0, he beat Zelay 2-0, and he beat Firebat 2-0. So he 2-0'd every Druid that he played except for ETC where he lost 2-0. I don't think that necessarily comes down to tech choices or anything like that because most of the Malygos Druids are the same. I think it's just a little bout of variance. And so given the track records against the decks, I would consider killinallday a favorite. But, you know, if ETC can do it once, he can do it again. It just takes one to push him through to the top 4 right now.
All right, well, with that, let's go ahead into the first game. killinallday playing that mage. Can it provide enough gas to try and go and pressure that Malygos Druid? And, I mean, we've seen some really explosive openings from killinallday's a specific mage, and it is one of the most popular decks that people really like playing in general, given that mage had a spike of popularity, but it does seem like this mage struggles against a big wide range of matchups on ladder, which is why it's interesting to see that perform here in tournaments where a lot of players do favor it. It seems to be pretty close just from the data, about 50% split down the middle.
Yeah. Specialist always adds a little bit of extra nonsense into any of our data. Very hard to test because you're not going to run into a mage on ladder playing Boom Pistol Bully and Archmage Antonitis.
Right, exactly.
Whereas similarly, you don't have the option to play a best of 3 series on ladder and change your Druid deck also to like take out Malygos and put in Rushers if that were to be the case.
Right, you don't get that knowledge.
Yeah, you don't get that knowledge.
So the math changes pretty significantly.
Yeah.
Speaking of
awkward.
Yeah, both players hitting the books. Primordial studies, nature studies. And as a result, some pretty interesting discounts available here. ETC just kind of holding off on the fact that he could play a 3-mana spell next turn, but it's not going to be it's not going to be something that he wants to do. He could just swipe down this Ogre Magi. And, you know, we've seen ETC be in a position where he doesn't want to be, which was taking like 3 to 4 every single turn. That's what led him to be in a situation like that previous series where he had to go for a dramatic swing with swipe and, as a result, lost his ability to close out the game. Ooh! Wow, that's a lot of card draw. 2-mana draw 3.
Yeah. I might even, invest in the Mirror Image here. That way you can play Jandis next turn, and it's protected a little bit from Guardian Animals. If ETC were to like be holding on to Lightning Bloom in order to get Guardian Animals out, this is a terrible hand from ETC. There's no way around it. This is atrocious.
It looks real bad.
Yeah. Yeah, there's only one Lake Thresher in the primary deck from ETC, so even if he were to... Oh, wow! What?
Okay.
What? Those are both sick, but Raz is incredible.
It's so good in this position, so you definitely don't want Raz to be the one that's easily downed.
Yeah.
I mean, this might be a really fast win for Killen.
Yeah,
that doesn't do it enough.
This is just, I mean, it's hard to imagine like a worse pan out, honestly. He's got essentially, I mean, yes, he does have 4 additional mana this turn. He could play his Alexstrasza or his Malygos, but his Germinations are doing nothing. I mean, his best play might be to play a Malygos and then just hope that Killen disrespects it and he can play Germination on it next turn.
Right.
Like, that's honestly the only line I see. I mean, he could even get out a Moonfire here. He can Moonfire down the Raz, which is, putting a clock on it. But, like Devolving Missiles could be a pretty big deal onto this. It's also, so many resources. Yeah. You only have mana for the Germination next turn. You don't even have any follow-up or capitalization for it.
Right.
But, Germination on a 4/12, that's a lot of health for Killen to get through. It's just, Mage has a lot of ways to disrupt that. But I like ETC's line because it's really the only thing that even gives him a chance.
Doesn't really find anything to immediately deal with this Malygos. I guess if he pieces together stuff, Arcane Breath deals 4, and if he trades a lot of stuff in and then Ray of Frost, he will be able to kill this Malygos. I guess it kind of depends on what Killen feels like increases his highest chance of success. Is it just ignoring this Malygos, or is it acknowledging it and trying to kill off his opponent's combo win condition?
I think you kill it, because there is a significant lack of just straight up threats in the deck. And the ones that are there take a lot of time. He's also got a Frost Nova in hand, which buys him another turn. Right. So I think he's free to be able to kill this, because obviously ETC was desperate. And he's not going to give him the only out he has. Okay, Guardian Animals can come down next turn. And he does have Bog Beam, so he can clean up a lot of stuff going into the following turn. It's just, what is Killen going to be able to do between now and then? Probably an Arcane Intellect and a Mana Giant. Yep.
I mean, Druid does not have access to this kind of removal. ETC looks like he is in dire straits right now.
Well, if he gets Lake Thresher, and he hit Lake Thresher.
Oh, okay.
So he can Bog Beam Lake Thresher Teacher's Pet, which actually clears.
Yes, that's actually
almost
huge.
The whole board.
Yeah, actually, it looks like it's completely salvaged at this point then. But at the same time, he still doesn't exactly have the resource to compete with Mana Cyclone and Evocation at the moment. So he really needs to make sure that this can go for a long distance at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. So Killen has the ability to try and generate resources right now, or he can just draw cards from his deck. So Evocation to start things off. Combustion will clear off the board if he uses his hero power. He has two side quests, Elemental Allies, of course.
Yeah,
not very good when you stack them because you can't.
You can go Elemental Evocation or Elemental Allies Combustion, Ray of Frost, and then and a Cyclone.
Yeah.
Ray of Frost doesn't feel great just because you're replacing it in hand, so you get one less spell. Oh no, he got the max spells anyway, so it works out perfectly.
Right.
Not the best ones though. Oh!
Wow!
Wait, there's a chance.
That's playable.
If he interfaces Alexstrasza, then double Germination's the Alexstrasza.
What if he What if he germinates the Twilight Runner?
Germinates the Twilight Runner now, and then goes Alexstrasza.
I think I like.
Yeah, what if you interface the Germination right then? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Devolving Missiles.
Yeah, I suppose so. Devolving Missiles, but I don't know if you get there if you don't get to stick this Twilight Runner, right? I guess he still could if he finds Overflow next turn, but Mage coming up on a full hand, a bunch of resource generated, it seems dicey to say the least.
Yeah. And for every Devolving Missiles in the deck, there's also one Firebrand. So Germination would have protected against Firebrand. Because now Killen can just play Firebrand, get rid of all the card draw source. Oh, Pyro! I mean, ETC's at 17. He's going to be at 15 after this turn. He's putting some minions on the board.
You fight me, you get burned. Turn it up.
Oh, it says explode.
Yeah, that's a lethal setup.
Yeah.
And ETC can't even play, or well, he can play Alex Strauss into this. If it's Mirror Entity, he's just like, all right, whatever, I'm dead.
That's the ultimate problem with it, is that not being able to stick a minion has now created fewer options, and now he's in a situation where he needs to get fortunate, and I mean, that's going to wrap it up. Killen able to get there, game number 1, and off to a 1-0 lead. 1 game away from going to the top 4.
Yeah, and, you know, ETC tried to make the best of a very poor situation that he had going for him there with how terrible his opening hand was. But maybe some spots at the end there where he might have been able to find something. I'm in your camp there. I think the Germination on the Twilight Runner was, you know, one of the only ways he has a chance to get back into it. So, but now we get to move on to see if these guys will switch up their decks. I'm pretty sure Killen will, because I think he mentioned that his Boom Pistol Bully and Archmage Antonidas tech was also for Druid. If you look at ETC's side decks, I don't even know if Temple Mage was on his radar. In his tertiary deck, he just has Crystal Powers and Iron Barks, but he still keeps the Malagos, Geppetto, Alexstrasza combination. He just cut some of his other early game stuff, like Nature Studies. In his secondary deck, he completely cuts Malagos and has an extra Overflow, an extra Lake Thresher, a Broomsticks, and Speaker Gidra in place of Moonfire and Malagos, Geppetto. So,
it does seem like Killen is switching to a secondary deck for game number 2, as you predicted, and we'll see if that Boom Pistol Bully tech, while it doesn't exactly impact things like, you know, Malagos, which is like the ultimate form of the combo, right? You want to be playing Malagos. It still impacts the surrounding support units like Geppetto and Alexstrasza enough, as you were talking about. And I want to see if that ends up being the case. Or, you know, but the other thing is, you know, what is Killen taking out, right? Like, and he doesn't have access to as a result of his primary and secondary deck. And we'll see if any of those removals end up being the case. I can't imagine so. It's not like Mirror Image is like super vital to stop Druid, but it was kind of clutch that one game that we just saw, where maybe having that early game board presence really made Druid's life miserable early on.
Yeah. Fives are scary against Druid. Another thing. Oh, Runic Carvings. Look at this hand.
That's one way to deal.
Look at this hand. This hand is sick. Wild Growth into Overgrowth, or Nature Studies into Wild Growth, into Overgrowth, into Guardian Animals, and then if you thought you were safe from there, Dan, then he hits you with the Runic Carvings.
That's right, no one's safe.
Yeah.
The totems. They will rise again.
Is done.
Interesting. I was going to say, the one thing he does lack is card draw. What if he hit Guardian Animals and he doesn't have card draw and Mage deals with this board?
Who cares
just
about
found Overflow. So I think, yeah.
Oh, well. I mean, Astromancer Solarian.
I don't think he's going to get a chance to play it, though. Right,
yeah.
The Solarian Prime. He has to first draw it, and then he has the mana to play it. I don't know if he's going to be relevant for a while.
Yeah, but I could say the same about the other two. But I guess Violet Warden, he can get that out next turn.
I mean, this is quite the dominance of Druid over this board here. This is very, very hard for any deck to deal with, let alone Tempo Mage, which doesn't exactly have, a ton of hard removal. They just got a lot of nice synergy with their spells and their cheap discounts.
Yeah. For every hand that you get, like the one from last game, you get one of these. An atrocious, unplayable hand with no ramp into
The God Hand.
a beautiful, perfectly
Right.
curved hand with all of the ramp and all of the support. Oh,
I wonder
okay.
if Killen wants to punish here with Devolving Missiles. He has to hit the Twilight Runner and does.
I don't even
That's
know if
annoying for
ETC's upset about that because...
Because of
Oh, wait,
Overflow.
he could coin out Solarian Prime next turn.
Wait. He drew a Solarian. I take back everything I said, TJ. Killen saw the line. He did not want to commit to spell damage minion. He knew he was going to draw the Solarian Prime
Yeah.
within 2 cards.
He just banked the mana from Primordial Studies. He just picked the most expensive one so he wouldn't be tempted to play it
That's
because
right.
he knew he was drawing Solarian Prime.
Ramp Mage.
Oh, jeez.
Moonfire number 3? Is
I
that
mean, he's
valuable at all when you don't have Malagos?
He's got 2 Bog Beams in hand. I think I just want to pick something more expensive. I honestly want to pick Soul of the Forest because of Runic Carvings.
Okay, I like that idea. Runic Carvings and Soul of the Forest. It is playable next turn if you did that.
Yeah. Oh,
I
all right.
like the Solarian Prime.
Let's go.
It's prime time.
Become one with the void.
It needs to be pretty big here to get it. Oh,
It's time, TJ.
I wouldn't do a 2/2. Might as well have been a Frost. Oh,
It's
here we go.
time.
It's a friendly demon.
What? What?
It's a demon. Cleared the board.
Oh no!
Oh, 'cause that's
it's
Puzzle
we're
Box.
Yogs? Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
that's
Puzzle Box.
The Grand Slam.
Oh boy.
Explosive shot. It's still the Puzzle Box.
No!
You still got a couple mage spells in the back end of this. 1, 2. Puts him to 10. All right. I mean, he cleared
Wow.
the board. He dealt a ton of damage to him.
I mean,
I'll take it.
TJ, he was at 29 life that turn. Just want to point that out.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take that.
I don't even know what I just witnessed.
Still a long way to go, though, for killing the win this game.
I know.
He does have
That-
Archmage
that's-
Antonitis in the deck, though. So
That's
ETC's
what's wild
on the
to
clock.
me.
I'll be just
That was insane.
Dude, Drew's at 10 life, and it feels like Killen still is kind of far from killing him at the moment. All right. So this could be the push that Killen needs. ETC finds Forest Warden Onu, so he could also fight back with Tempo Swings himself.
Oh, man.
Just no form of card draw.
Yeah, that's the problem here.
And he needs to survive.
Runic Carvings, though. The rush ones do overload you. So that could be an issue, but at least he can clear the board.
Right, right. Spending his hand, stalling, hoping that he draws portals or more card draw.
Yeah.
Killen, hoping he draws any way to continue to burn the pressure up.
Yeah.
Mana Cyclone, okay.
It's just a couple spells, though. Yeah, this might be like a Violet Warden Ray of Frost turn.
Maybe Violet Warden and lab partner. I guess the 1/3 doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, I think he
I just
wants to.
I just like to
protect
hold the Ray of
health.
Frost because we have Sorcerer's Apprentice and we have the Mana Cyclone. Just feels so bad to use, but I think you're right.
Yeah, he's hoping for like some type of card draw source next turn to like start the chain, but he still needs a lot of help. Oh man!
Okay. Spell damage swipe.
Wait,
How much damage is this actually? Hold on.
Omu, Moonfire is 6 plus 12 plus 1, 19. He
Wait,
gets
he
to push the 2.
he has. Yeah.
Okay, so Forest Warden, then Moonfire. No, he can't fit that all in. Forest Warden, Hero Power, Moonfire.
He could
Germination.
basically build his own Malagos. So two swipes. Moonfire is 6 plus 6 plus 3 plus 3, so 18 damage. And if you can get another Azure Explorer on the board, it'd be 24. The question would be whether or not he can actually play both of those swipes and those Moonfires and be able to do that. And I think if he played Forest Warden, Onu, Hero Power, Moonfire, Germination swipe. Oh no, it doesn't work. I think because then he'd run out of mana crystals that way. It looks really close. It looks really close, and I think I need more time to figure out what's the optimal point of damage. It looks like ETC couldn't figure it out, so he ends up basically passing here.
No, there wasn't a way. Maximum damage he could have dealt the face was 17, I think.
Just like you.
That would have been Forest Warden, Hero Power, the Violet Warden, Moonfire face, so that's 3. And then you'd swipe Moonfire, which is an additional 15. So it would have been 18 damage. Oh, 20 because the 2 damage from the runic carving.
Right.
That was pretty close.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Germination swipe was more efficient because then your Moonfire would be better, but
then you give up the second swipe, which was 6, and you'd add 4.
yes. Either way, Killin is now in the mode where he is basically trying to pressure as much as he can. This is the time for him to go.
Yeah, awkwardly enough, he needs to hit the Azure Explorer here. All right, he hit it. There's the Mana Giant. Final push. ETC needs spell damage portal. Calicos! Wait! Okay, spell damage minion.
Wait, what? Oh, he doesn't have enough way to capitalize off of it, right?
I mean, he could Germination.
Right. But what does he want to germinate? I guess
Anything. The Caligos.
probably the Teacher's Pit?
Well, the Caligos puts a 4/12 taunt in play.
Oh yeah, I guess so. I guess I was kind of tunneling on the Teacher's Pet's Death Rattle just to get maximum value. But yeah, Caligos does put a 4/12 in play.
What to do? The fate of the world hangs in the balance.
Swipe just to deal with some of the board here,
For no one.
and then he could play more of his board. I mean, this
Play
is
his
a
whole
battle of, battle of what board that you can utilize here.
Yeah. I like the swipe on the
Mana Giant.
I like the swipe on the Mana Giant because then it can't attack in and get Conjurers Calling.
Okay.
If he wants a Conjurers Calling, he just has to do it. But this isn't. I mean, ETC is all in,
Right. Both players basically all in.
but ETC's board is just so big, and he's got a Twilight Runner as well. What is the pickup off the top? Mana Giant. I mean, Starfall's a 3 damage AoE, but it's still not enough to even put a dent in this board. I think he just might be dead on board, actually. He can kill off one of the Caligos.
What to do?
I don't think he can take enough power off board. I think the minion that comes out of Teacher's Pet, if he kills it, has to be low attack, because this is still 21 damage on board. Oh no, he can clear the Calico Sword.
Yeah. So there's, but he can
No, there's
still
18 damage on board.
potentially draw something here. Oh wow! I mean,
there's-
that's enough.
Well, there was lethal on board. It was exactly
Right, because the
18.
hero power.
Yeah.
So that's gonna do it. ETC closes it out. Some real scrappy game here. Gotta
Yeah.
appreciate that from a combo deck that can sometimes feel like it doesn't have a lot to do, and you have to take unusual lines of play to get the victory. It's a tied series, 1 game apiece. You know, Specialists kind of going to a best of 3 scenario. It does feel like we still had some pretty extensive series, and overall, I feel like it's kind of delivering today. Not gonna lie. Going into game number 3, though, I think we're gonna see a repeat of game number 2. And those tech cards didn't really come to play for Killen. He didn't really draw the Antonitis nor the Boom Pistol Bully. And that's kind of what the difference makers he's hoping for, which I think would have made a pretty big difference, given that he got his opponent down to 10 health, and was just never able to deal a single point of net damage afterwards.
Yeah, maybe picks up the Antonitis a little bit earlier on in the game. He has a decent shot there, but I mean, he had no business even being in that game for as long as he was. The Solarium Prime bailed him out of a situation where he was going to lose, pretty spectacularly because of the start from ETC. But yeah, the Archmage Antonitis could have bailed him out, and yeah, we are going to get a rematch of the game 2. No reason to switch for both players, and Killen just kind of hoping that ETC doesn't have as quick of a start as he did that game, and maybe can find some of those tech conclusions a little bit faster himself. But I don't think that he's too worried necessarily about the tech choices being a detriment.
Yeah, I don't think that it should be that significant if he's not drawing it, but when they do get drawn, it feels like they could potentially have that high impact that I was looking for, because had he had the ability to get like double Fireball at any point after that Solarium Prime into Puzzle Box, would have been nutty. Also, speaking of which, Killen seems to be the Solarium Prime Whisperer, because he keeps getting that Puzzle Box cast off of it, and it just leads to outrageous moments where it looked like Killen could easily kill his opponent, right? Like, had things sequenced in a potentially different way, or like Pyroblast went face instead of killing that 2/2, Killen would have actually destroyed everything and even killed ETC that turn.
Yeah, what is it, like a 3% chance to cast Puzzle Box from Solarium Prime or something like that?
Yeah,
I saw the math done somewhere.
I think so.
I think 3% was the thing. I haven't done it. I'm not sure, but it's pretty low. It's pretty low odds. We'll see. Let's get into it. The decider for who's going to move on to top 4. Loser's not out of it yet. They will go on to face to the decider match of the group, to face the winner of Muzzy versus No Hands Gamer. But might as well just get it done now. ETC on coin as Nature Studies opening hand. Looking for Overgrowth and Guardian Animals. Let's see it.
Yeah, I mean, the opening hand for ETC almost felt like it didn't really matter what ETC's top end was. If it was Malagos, if he played Survive the Fittest, if he played Mount Seller. I mean, it's pretty close, TJ, to it. If he finds a dragon for his Breath of Dreams. Or if he just finds Wild Growth and just plays that instead.
What about Runic Carvings again?
Insta-pick Runic Carvings.
Oh, man.
ETC sees the lines.
No dragon picked up. Still hit it.
Doesn't want to necessarily Breath of Dreams right now, because he could go and play the Overgrowth if he draws it next turn, but at the same time, if he wants to play things like his Guardian Animals, would really hope that he gets that ramp soon.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. God Gamer.
And now he's got coin guardian animals going in the next turn.
That's rough for killing. Does he want to commit to the board here with Sorcerer's Apprentice and Wand Thief when he knows the ability to go into guardian animals is a thing?
I don't think so. Maybe if he thinks guardian animals is like 100% there, he can try and go for like a mirror image to protect his Shinvala. But he can. Wow.
Okay. I mean, the ability to put up this 0/2 to stop the guardian animals from rushing in, that's huge. Yeah, Killen knows. He knows what time it is. Time to draw some cards and kill the board. The good news is that Killen can't lose everything, I think.
I mean, it'll be close. ETC just has to decide whether or not he wants to kill Sorcerer's Apprentice or Shinvala.
Right, and I mean, both of them don't seem to be impactful here, right? We look at Killen's hand.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to really matter.
Feels like it has a higher upside given the hand, but ETC also has an answer to Sorcerer's Apprentice next turn. So you might as well kill it so you can kill the higher health. I don't know, there's pros and cons to both. But you could tell Killen was struggling for cheap spells either way, so...
Okay, so Jandis Barrow feels really bad into the Thresher.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think you gotta play this Boom Pistol Bully, even though really not having a major impact right now.
Runic carvings?
I mean, for
Rush?
I was thinking about Twilight Runner and just kind of developing here. Like, I don't know. So the thing about runic carvings, it doesn't feel like it progresses his game plan significantly, and also
Yeah.
it seems to be a better reactive card to things like, you know, the Sorcerer's Apprentice and whatnot. I guess the way he views it though is that he could get tempo now, right? If he commits his Bog Beam, trades, and maybe just pressure the mage, and then force Killen to be reactive. The thing is, Killen has a really good reaction to this with Lab Partner and Raz.
Yeah. It's still answered by ETC relatively easily because the Lake Thresher still just trades over Lab Partner, and you get essentially free damage on Raz. But ETC's also overloaded, so he invested a little bit more mana than you would normally expect for a board like that. But I mean, he's still. It feels like he's still so far ahead. He doesn't have a way to deal with Raz completely right now, outside of using Swipe, which I doubt he wants to do this early. Ah. A lot of respect.
This is a lot of respect, and I think there was a couple of different things you could have explored doing this turn. Either way, though, okay. So the thing is, if we play Geppetto and then we draw Malagos, we're still like not having any kind of game plan around that. So it feels like ETC is playing so much for tempo that we're kind of like off the Malagos plan. That's kind of the impression that I get right now. Speaking of being off the plan, I don't think you wanted 32 mana worth of spells from Evocation this turn.
I wonder.
No, and Ray of Frost, because it's the only real spell that he could dump for Mana Cycle, and it actually only gives him one space in his hand. I might even go for like Frost Nova Ray of Frost just to hold on to the second Ray of Frost, but again, that only opens up one spot in the hand. I mean, at this point, Ray of Frost, I don't know. Ray of Frost Jandis might even been like, I guess it opens up 2 spots in his hand, that's fine. I was thinking like Ray of Frost Jandis and just forget the mana cycle. But that's hard to do, especially with Mana Giant in hand also.
Jeez, that feels so bad from Killen's perspective. And now he gets to see Geppetto. Just Sarah Unleashed and Omu comes into the hand.
Huh. Well, I mean...
Oh wow, maximum tempo, huh?
You too will bloom. Never bloom. My dream is your nightmare.
Nature studies to potentially find card draw. At this point, ETC, kind of what we're talking about, fully on the board, fully on board with a bunch of tempo, and now he has the opportunity to get even more with Guardian Animals.
He only has a Teacher's Pet left in his deck.
Time waits for no one.
But it might be good just to get it out, actually.
Right. Yeah, I stand by what I said. I still think the Germination on Twilight Runner is worth thinking about. Okay, Killen leans forward, kind of recognizing this might be the defining moment of which he needs to find a good swing. He has the ability to play the Rolling Fireball to actually kill 3 minions here.
Yeah, and the Mirror Entity is actually sick, because the only minions that ETC even has left that he can play are Twilight Runner, good, Killing All Day needs card draw, Alexstrasza, since he's seen both the 1-mana 1/1s from Geppetto, and Malagos. All of those Killen would love to have. I mean, he could go for something like Rolling Fireball Mirror Entity here. Rolling Fireball, isolate the Teacher's Pet, and then Mirror Entity, because then no matter what ETC plays, he knows there's a Teacher's Pet in hand, because the second Guardian Animals came out only pulled a Teacher's Pet. The Twilight Runner.
Oh my gosh. Maybe you don't even care anymore at that point. You're just like all in again. Innervate, Lightning Bloom, Germination.
I bring life and
Now it's up to Killen to find a way to deal with it. Finds Conjurer's Calling. If Magic Trick can find Frost Nova, that actually might be the winning formula here. Evocation.
Evocation can also be good because he can get it if he picks up 1 Ray of Frost from Evocation. A single Ray of Frost, he can go Ray of Frost, Mana Giant, Conjurer's Calling. Cone of Colds. Oh, and Mirror Image is actually also good. There's no Leg Threshers left. There's a lot of good stuff here.
Right, because Mirror Image discounts the Mana Giant again.
What is that? Oh, Flame Ward. Okay.
The issue is that Mirror Image doesn't stop all the damage because of the threat of whatever ETC either has from the Teacher's Pet or just have if he just changes Alexstrasza. But he's going to go ahead and just play this Rolling Fireball, and I like that, just to eliminate all that pressure.
Yeah.
I think this was really well done by Killen.
Yeah, and if this Mana Giant sticks, which I'm pretty sure it guarantee is, it's a guaranteed stick on the board, because Swipe wouldn't be able to touch it. Killen now has a Conjurer's Calling.
Yeah, with some big possible outcomes. Mana Cyclone, oh my goodness. Another opportunity for Killen to consider, which is double Conjurer's Calling, or maybe 1 Conjurer's Calling. We'll see.
Oh! The
Finds
juice!
a Walking Fountain.
He hit
and
the
a
juice!
Loosen Bark?
That's like the ultimate combo. And he hit Devolving Missiles off the one spell Mana Cyclone.
Oh, jeez. Draws a bunch of spells off the elemental allies.
Oh, completely dismantled ETC's turn.
Wow. ETC
Wow.
looks like he's just too far behind now. I mean, what a reversal of this board state. ETC looks so dominant, now he needs to get bailout from his dream portals.
Evil magic amuses me.
I mean,
A solid minion.
a quadruple Malagos from these Dream Portals is still lethal. Okay, a swipe.
Yeah,
Swipe,
some quality
Moonfire?
minions.
Yeah.
Honestly, still not bad situation for ETC. Like, it could have been much worse.
Could have been much worse, yep.
Drawing 3 portals was huge there.
Now he has no damage to go over the top, though.
Oh my. Hmm. Wow, this evasive dragon is actually so annoying. The fact that it's just unable to be targeted here. Killen could also just use conjures on his Lucent Bark and it'll come back as a minion that could be targeted later, but then he would be giving up a lot of his defenses.
Yeah, imagine
Could Ray of
Conjur's
Frost as
calling
well.
the Lucent Bark and getting the Walking Fountain again. I mean, that can do it.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's not the lifesteal one.
No. He summons a 5/9 with taunt.
Yeah.
But the idea is that he still has a way to get past his Draken in now, which is huge.
Yeah, which was fantastic. And he can Ray of Frost isolate this. This is a lethal setup, I believe, because he pushes 2 and has 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Not quite. Guardian Animals dead draw.
No minions to pull from Guardian Animals. Oh boy, this is a bad feeling, especially because you know Ray of Frost number 2. Antonitis, that's a win condition.
It's lethal
Think
right now,
Gillen
right?
might...
You require my assistance.
Oh,
Is
because
it
the 5
7?
cost 3, you're right.
8, 16, plus 5, 21, plus 7. Yeah, that's 28.
28.
That'll do it.
Killing all day. First appearance on Grandmasters broadcast this season, and he is going to the top 4. And he needs that miracle run in order to make it to Division A. And he's going to beat ETC by a score of 2-1. ETC will get another chance in the final match for the deciding second spot. You'll have to wait for a little bit of time. Congrats to Killing all day. And he did it with Mage, a deck that I wasn't exactly sure about because he's one of the few people that chose to bring it. Some people that brought Mage also brought different variants of it throughout Grandmasters. So you got to tip your cap for, being able to pass some tough situations. Taking some bad beats too, right? Like we saw some pretty crazy starts from ETC, and he wasn't able to convert off of it. But I got to also say that was a very unusual line for a Malagos Druid to take. And so I'm sure ETC definitely could go to, a little bit of VOD review and evaluate that, because I feel like there was a lot of exploration. One of the more interesting games for that Malagos Druid that we've seen so far today.
Yeah, he kind of went all in for tempo, which, I mean, you're playing against a deck that thrives on having tempo. That makes a lot of sense, but sometimes it can be about slowing down, especially when you know that mage is playing slow.
Right.
Killing All Day does get that first seed. The miracle run for him is still alive to get that win and move on to Division A, as is for ETC, who's also down near the bottom of actually is in the bottom of the standings. And ETC shouldn't sweat too much because there's a Priest Mirror that's going to happen in the lower bracket. And then he's kind of the final boss that awaits the winner of the Priest Mirror. They're going to do like hand-to-hand Priest Mirror combat for about 2 hours. And then ETC's there with the Malagos Druid to just, cut their dream once again of making it into a top 4. Kind of brutal for Muzzy and No Hands to experience that over the course of the rest of the day. But Killing All Day is probably also rooting for ETC because he knows that he needs to win, and he knows that as long as he wins, ETC can't pass him. Whereas No Hands Gamer and Muzzy, Muzzy's actually locked for Division A, but No Hands Gamer, he wants to try and keep him in low points totals because He wants to have the best chance to make Division A, and that means